when building your aquaponics system, people often say, oh my god, it's so expensive, it's too expensive. You know what, you're right. But anything that we do has a price. Now you can do the cheap and nasty aspect with anything in life, or you can spend the money and have a sturdy product, service, whatever. We know that if I want to get a really nice hairstyle, which, you know, I actually need a haircut, but I could go to Cheap Cuts and they'll spray it, they'll cut it, and I'll be hoping that it's the right type of style. And that'll cost me $22. Or I can go to a hairdresser and have them wash it, style it, cut it, blow dry it, and have me walking out of there feeling really good, but knowing I've got the cut that I want. They've checked it, they've double checked it, they've done everything like that. You get what you pay for, okay? So that's the first thing. If you try to go cheap, you're going to pay for it. You're going to find out. And just because you can buy something doesn't mean you should. I've seen different people buy things because it's a great deal, and it is a great deal, but if they don't know how to put it together, or they don't know how it works, or they don't know how long it's been going for, therefore if it is, you know, why is the person selling it? All of these questions need to be asked. It's like a used car. You're going to go buy a car, right? And you're not going to go to, just say you're not going to a car salesman, you're going to a private person. Why are you selling the car? What's the mechanical history? Hopefully they've got the logbook in the car that can identify that. And, you know, has there been any problems with it? How's it drive? Can take it for a test drive? I want to see it working. I want to hear it working. I want to feel it working. Now, I love recycling. Okay, I love recycling stuff. And I upcycle as much as I can. I change things around. I modify. I think when I was 18, I bought a brand new car. Outside of that, always second hand. But I've also always got my mechanic to check over the car. But I've taken it for a spin. Okay, I've had a look. I know enough about cars to be able to understand I need to check a few basics, the logbook, and get my mechanic to have a look. You'd be surprised what people try to pull over you. Same with anything in life. You get anything that you want to buy second hand, why are they selling it? Now, if it works for you, if it's a setup and a system that you can see working for you, fantastic, go for it, seriously. But make sure you understand how it works and how you need to put it together. If you go and spend $5,000 or even $10,000 on a huge big commercial system, but it's all pulled apart and they've gone, oh yeah, here's a drawing of what it looks like, or here are a couple of photos. Do you actually know how to put that together? Because if you don't, it's going to sit there because it's going to go into that too hard basket. I do it myself. If I haven't seen something working, it's a lot harder to work out how to put those pieces together. Okay, so that's just a bit of a thing. If you're going to get anything second hand, how long has it been used for? So, for instance, the fish tank that's right up the back. Okay, so the green one right at the back that's got the silver insulation around it. That's second hand. I know those tanks, they last when new 10 years, and that's 10 years out in the open, so out in the sun. Hello, puss. And this person had had it for 12 months. Well, actually less than. So I knew that was going to be fine. The IBC that I've got, which is the sump and also that one over there. Hello, mister. It's outside time and he's having a good sniff. He's doing a good job. Yeah? Just seen him before, he was checking everything out, making sure everything was at the right height. Vision impairment, so he uses his senses a lot to other senses to work things out. So he can still see, he's not quite as good as what we can. The IBC, so that's a new IBC. It's food grade and it's UV stable. I also know that the recommended lifespan of the IBC is 5 years according to manufacturers. So that's new. 5 years I'll be looking at replacing it, even if it's still going strong, because I know that could be breaking down. If they're telling me at 5 years I should be thinking about testing it and checking it out, that's it for me. Okay. Now, we talk about how expensive aquaponics is. Everything's expensive depending on what you put on it. So first you need to think about, there's two things here you need to think about. One, what's more precious to me, my time or my money? My time or my money? Okay, time, money. I just bought all of that expanded clay just a few $100, right? Bargain. It all needed to be cleaned. So that took hours. And I mean hours. In fact, we'll go with it the days, nearly a week. A lot of clay, but I'd also done expanded clay for someone else too, so we'll go with days. But yeah, it was a week to do all of it. And I had the time. I personally don't mind sitting there and dwelling on the deeper mysteries of life while I'm doing it. You know, popping on a podcast and listening to different things. That works for me. I have the time. Why not? If you don't have the time to sit there and clean all of that expanded clay, then you're exchanging that for the money. So you're going to go and buy it new. Okay? We're all different how we do it. But just remember, you're going to pay for it in some way, whether it's your time or your money. Now, not every system needs to use expanded clay. You can have what we call a deep water culture system, and that would be having water coming in, no gravel, no clay, but rafts on top. Okay, so just like a, I'm trying to think, do I have anything here? No, just a piece of polystyrene lid. Just imagine that on top, laid it out with some nets in there, little baskets, and have the water flowing in and out. That's a lot cheaper. Instead of a fiberglass grow bed, you do pond line. That's a lot cheaper. You gotta build it though. You gotta make it. I could buy the fiberglass grow bed pre-made, or I can make it. It's cheaper to make it. Takes a lot more time. Work out where you are with that. If you're someone, you've got the time to make it, and you've got the skills. I've been making fiberglass grow beds for a while, and does that mean that how I do it is the same as everybody else? Hell no. How I do it works though. Works for me. Not everybody can do that. Not everyone is comfortable doing that. Just like I won't use a chainsaw. I'm not comfortable with them. I do use electric saws, and I do use jigsaws and things like that, but rarely do I use an electric saw. I have my limits as to what I will and will not do. Good thing I didn't need a chainsaw for this. But you might be in an area where you need to clear off some space. Know what you're comfortable with. And if it's getting someone else to do it for you, you've got the money, do it. Or trade. These are all options. There are ways of building an aquaponics system and cutting the cost. So we've got the drum there and the IBC and the second-hand fish tank at the bottom, and the oh my god, all the second-hand clay. My brain is so not working right now. Clay's all second-hand. I've made the grow bed. Second-hand fish tank. So this cost me $600. Okay, it cost me, I can't remember how much fiberglass and components cost me. But it's all recycled wood, so that's a good start. And I have, here's the thing, I also have a whole heap of scrap stuff in my garage. So that's a hard one to say to quote someone else. But that's how I can do it. Now there are so many ways I can make that cheaper. And if you've got the time to be able to build it and to look into it and work it out, then you do it that way. So just remember, you're either paying time or money, and know what you can get and do secondhand. There's so much we can do secondhand. There are so many people who build a system, don't know what they're doing, it crashes, it dies, they go, that's it, I'm done. Pick up the components. Personally though, I would never buy a pump secondhand. I actually don't buy anything electrical secondhand. I'll be honest there, I don't do it. And I wouldn't buy an IBC that's already being used for something in aquaponics. But that's, again, that's a personal choice. Not everyone has that luxury. I'm in an area where I can get a new one. There are a lot of people who they can only get secondhand ones. They can only get certain things. So know what you can and can't get as well. So go secondhand wherever you can, but remember, there is always a cost, but you get what you pay for. So just like my car. My car's 18 years old. Okay, I love my car. It can fit all of this in it. I go camping in it. I do all of these things. Do I want a new car? Absolutely not. I look after that car, so I get it serviced, it's well maintained, nothing wrong with it. Why would I get a new car? Does everything I need. But that's who I am. That might not be who you are. Do I have an issue with people who get cars every 3 years? No. I've got a friend who does that. She upgrades every 3 years. her choice, her lifestyle, all good. But the point is, we need to know what it is we're doing. Okay, we need to be comfortable with our chosen lifestyle. And because I do something, doesn't mean you need to. Doesn't mean my friends need to. Doesn't mean that you need to do the same as what everyone's doing. Take the information that works for you and apply that. Okay? So just going back to the very beginning, I was talking about buying a system pre-built, pre-done from someone. Make sure you do see it running. Sure, that might mean it's a bit more work pulling it apart, but if they really want to sell it and they're genuine about it, they'll understand you want to know how it looks when it's working, and you want to make sure that it works. Okay? If you're building it yourself, make sure that you have a good understanding of how it's going to work and what you can do. Okay?